I have what's called high-functioning autism, which is a terrible name for what I have, because it gives the impression that I function highly. I do not. To give you an idea of what it feels like to be on the spectrum, basically it feels like being the only sober person in a room full of drunks. Or the other way around. Basically, everyone is operating on a wavelength you can't quite key into. To give you a visual, this woman is on the spectrum. That is the story of my fucking life. Honestly, it's a funeral, same place, same time last week. Why didn't I get the memo? Why are they kissing? I don't like the sound. I never get the memo. I never do. I've always missed the memo. I remember going from being the teacher's pet to being the teacher's nemesis in one lesson. And until I was diagnosed, I never understood what had happened. Now, the lesson was on prepositions, so strap yourselves in for this story. Now, I do like my teacher. She was a good teacher. I like the way she explained things, but we lost each other this way. This is how she began the lesson. She said, imagine a box. And I could do that. I was gifted to a point. Visual thinker, good box, solid, three-dimensional, nothing fancy, but there. And then she said, a preposition is a word that explains your relationship to the box. And that's when my thinking just fell apart, because I thought, I'm related to a box? And then she said, now, you can be behind the box. Does anybody know what the preposition is there? No, they didn't, but I had a question. I said, am I made of box? Now, let me bring you into my thinking there. I thought if I was related to a box, we must share DNA, and it made more sense in my head that I would be made of box than the box would be made of me. But my teacher was not privy to that gifted train of thought circling my head there. So she was a bit thrown, and she said, no, Hannah, you're not made of box. I'm surprised you had to ask that. I said, okay, you can be in front of the box then. Does anybody know what the preposition is there? No, they didn't, but I had another question. I said, does the box have a name? I thought if I had a name, I could work out how we were related. Maybe we were cousins. And she said, no, it's a box. Boxes don't have names, Hannah. What boxes do you know have names? And I started listing breakfast cereals. She's like, all right, okay. You can be beside the box. Does anybody know what the preposition is there? No, they didn't, but I had another question. Now, I don't remember my thinking behind this question, but I remember asking it because when I did, everybody laughed and I had no idea why. But I remembered really liking the feeling. Uh-oh. This was the question. I said, am I allowed to eat the box? Of course, yes. Everybody is laughing except me and the teacher looking back. I don't know why the fuck she wasn't laughing. As far as jokes go, that's a classic. A baby dyke just asked if she was allowed to eat the box. She didn't think it was funny. She's like, okay, all right, okay. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. Okay, we might be on the wrong track. How about we imagine something else in relation to the box then? Okay, how about a penguin? Now, the penguin can be inside the box. Does anybody know what the preposition is there? No, they didn't, but I had some fucking questions about the penguin. I said, what is the penguin made of? And that was the question that broke my teacher. You know you've broken a teacher when a teacher who never swears bad. So I said, what's the penguin made of? And she's like, the penguin? I mean, it's made of fucking penguin. And as far as answers go, that's mwah. Like, that is watertight. That is a stunning answer. You can't logic out of that answer. That is a good answer. But it was at that point I thought, I might be on the wrong track. But I had other questions pressing, but I thought, now doesn't seem the time. She seems upset. So what I thought is, I might hang on to my question. That's what I thought. And that was my mistake. I should have either asked my question then while in the thick of it, or not at all. Because I did the worst possible thing. I waited until she felt safe. Then I asked my question, but I waited so long it wasn't even the same lesson. It was much later in the day, in silent reading. I waited so long it wasn't even a question anymore. It was more of a theory, and that made it worse. I said, what if the penguin ate the box? Wouldn't then you say the penguin's a little bit made of box? Get out. And that was the first but not the last time I was sent out for reasons I had no idea why. Because the thing is, I was genuinely engaged in that lesson. Right? I really wanted to know what a preposition was. It wasn't like I was sitting there going, prepositions? I've never fucking heard of them! But as she explained to me later, she said, you're being deliberately obtuse. I'm like, but I'm not a triangle. I did not learn what a preposition was that day. Look, I understand what they are now. I'm all over it. And I also understand if the penguin ate the box, the penguin would be around the box.